Good to see you. So, today I want to discuss something that has been on my mind for a while. And I want to discuss exactly what I don't really like about Pokemon and what I've not been enjoying. So, I'm a massive Pokemon fan and I really enjoy the games for what they are. And I've done so for many years as I was indoctrinated at an early age, and there isn't really an escape for people who grew up in the 90s. So I'll link this video, I'll put the link in the description. This is about half an hour of gameplay, and it looks pretty neat with this multiplayer PvP system, which I think is going to be the primary focus of the game. So when it comes to the Pokemon games, there's something about it that's been bothering me for a while. I make my living developing video games, and as a game developer, you have to understand what the core appeal of your product is. You have to understand the gameplay experience, the synergy of all the mechanisms working together, the interaction between the user and the end product, all the potential ways that the player can interact and feel about the overall experience. Those are things that you have to consider as a game developer. And of course, there's going to be developers out there who don't consider those things. They just shoot from the hip and make whatever. But when you do anything in life, whether that is a hobby or a career, you should strive for excellence, and you should always push yourself to improve, to learn more, to understand more, to be able to do more. So for game development, it's very important for me to understand on a deeper level what the experience of the game is actually comprised of and how that translates to a positive gameplay experience for players. So for me, the problem I've been having with Pokemon for many years is this, and it's actually quite simple, is that there are not enough new interesting Pokemon, and the ones that are new are spread thin. So I will explain this situation. For example, when I played Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as a Pokemon fan of many, many years, as I'm getting on in age, I get to a new area, I start a new generation of games, which is very exciting. I get to a new area, and I just want the new Pokemon. I've already played through the previous games countless times with however many hundred Pokemon. I've already raised all of those. I don't want to use the exact same Pokemon over and over and over again. I want the cool new ones. For the people that have been watching this channel, I think it's become clear to you guys that I love monsters. And love is not a word that I throw around recklessly. I'm a massive monster fan, whether that's in movies or shows, creature features and things like that. I love monsters. They're so cool. And to me, it's so frustrating when I play a new Pokemon game and I go for hours and I don't see a new Pokemon. I don't want to keep using the exact same ones over and over again. I would like some new ones. That is why I personally play the new Pokemon games. I come back each time because I want to use the new Pokemon. And in Sword and Shield, it felt extremely disappointing because I would go for hours running back and forth through patches of grass or certain areas, hoping to find a new Pokemon, but I keep getting the exact same old Pokemon over and over again. And then after an hour or two of that, I feel like I'm not being rewarded for my time, and I feel like it's not worth it for me to play that game. Feels especially true in Scarlet and Violet. I don't know why. I think it was worse in Sword and Shield, but there were stretches in Scarlet and Violet as well where I was not seeing any new Pokemon outside of one or two. I would get to an area, I would run around and just keep waiting for the Pokemon to respawn. I would get, the two new Pokemon species that are in that area, and then after that, it's just repeating the exact same old ones over and over and over again. I don't want to use the old ones because I've already used them. I've already gone on adventures with them. I want the new ones. And so when you go through 12 hours of gameplay and you only see 10 to 15 new Pokemon, it's not rewarding. It feels very disappointing, and that's not fun to me. It's not fun to me to keep using the exact same Pokemon that I've already used a bunch of times in the past. I don't know what Game Freak's thought process is. I don't know if Game Freak is considering on a deeper level what the user experience is like. I'm not sure if they understand that this is a problem that some people have, and I don't know if this is a problem that only I have. I'm interested to hear from you if this is a problem that you have as well, but I have not really been enjoying the new games on a deeper level, partly due to this. The exact opposite to this is Pokemon Black and White. When I played that game, it was 150 fresh, beautiful, starry-eyed creatures for you to meet and go on adventures with, and that game was very exciting because everywhere you went, it was new creatures everywhere. So fantastic. And I really enjoyed Black and White. Right now I'm enjoying some other monster taming games other than Pokemon. Nexomon Extinction, Koromon, Disc Creatures, and Digimon Story Time Strangers, because those are all new creatures. I jump into those games, I go into a new area, it's all shiny fresh faces, it's cool new creatures. I just want to see cool creatures. I want to add them to my party. I want to see what they can do. I want to go on adventures and I want to fight some monsters. I want to hurt somebody. I want to hurt them real good with my monsters. That's what I want. And so the Pokemon games, to me, you know, I'm accepting that as you get older, you just have less fun. You don't enjoy. This is a toy for children, basically. This is a child's plaything. And so I have to accept, yes, I'm not going to enjoy these things the same way I did in the past. But what is contributing to that is the fact that I'm going into areas that have maybe one new Pokemon and then 14 old ones. And to me, that's not fun. So I'm wondering if anyone else has experienced that. And I doubt Game Freak cares about something like that. It feels like they don't, based on what I experience and play through games, it feels like Game Freak does not consider the end user experience on a deeper level like this. But these are the kinds of things that I consider when coming up with concepts and designing my games. I consider how the player would feel about the game. How would the game make them feel? How would they feel about engaging with the game itself, engaging with the core mechanics on a deeper level other than, is this fun? Are you making numbers on screen go up? You know, I consider things far beyond that. And the Pokemon has been so disappointing to me because of that. And Legends ZA looks fun. It's a different battle system. You know, I'm primarily getting it because a friend of mine wants to play the game together. And so we'll enjoy it together. But there's no new Pokemon in this, and that's not that fun to me. Meanwhile, I'm right now playing other monster games, and I just really enjoy heading into a new area of the game, and it's just a bunch of weird, crazy new monsters. What I enjoy is when I see a monster and I say, "What is this guy? What is that? Who is he?" And I find myself saying that when I'm playing other monster taming games, and it's so exciting to meet it's a cool monster, man, you know? And I say, oh man, I've got to have one of those. I got to see what that guy does. And I'm not really getting that out of Pokemon so much these days. Anyway, this is not a complaint. This is not an attack on Pokemon. I'm just sharing my thoughts. Thanks for listening. I'd be interested in hearing from you if you have had similar experiences or if your experiences have been totally different. All right, be well. Thanks very much. I'm going to enjoy my nice hot apple cider. Ooh, I forgot to put some lemon in there. Okay, I gotta go.